Shut up and sit down.
I'm not superstitious, but I have the worst luck of anyone I know, and the universe is against me. I would say that things could still look up, but I broke a closet mirror with my ass last year trying to shut it, so I'm pretty certain I've got at least 6 more years left. Even Stephen Hawking couldn't fathom why such an insurmountable pile of shit always comes my way. Sometimes all the elements in the world are against you, and you just need a friend to validate the fact that your life is an utter shit pile of fucking mishaps, and to do something reactive with you, like scream or throw whatever you have in your fridge at your enemy's house. Let's get into that. Katie Montgomery was a cunt. She was the kind of girl who would invite her friends over so she could have sex with her boyfriend with the door open so that her dad and his boyfriend wouldn't find out. But I'm getting ahead of the story here. Let's back all the way up to 6th grade when a long-haired, aloof guy with a cool name and a gray striped fedora moved to town from Indiana. Nico Kemp. He was the kind of guy that any 6th grade girl with half a brain and sense of smell could love. Trick or treat! So, who does everyone like? Nico. Really? Me too! Me too! So, everyone likes Nico? I just met him tonight, but I like him too. Yippee. When I went to high school, I initially went to a different school than most of these friends. They went to Blair, I went to Einstein. It was the night of the Blair homecoming game, and I had been running around downtown between a group of sketchy older adult friends that I had met there and my group of Blair friends. The sketchy older adult friends always smelled like pot, but not that I knew what that smell was yet. I just knew that they smelled unemployed. Back to 6th grade. Here comes a pact initiated by Elise that none of us will ever date Nico in order to save our friendship. Don't tell me you're too dumb to get where this is going. The year after, she dated Nico, then Callie did, then Elise did again. Rowan humped her dog, and I got fucked by being an unkissable sorry-ass virgin. High school comes around, night of the Blair homecoming game, and I'm running back to my group of sketchy adult friends from the Blair group. And someone from the Blair group I've never met before runs up to me. Hey, Henry. I was gullible enough to believe that acne ends in high school, but not enough to believe I was genuinely getting asked out 2 seconds after overhearing the Blair boys making a bet to see who could get a girl they don't know's number first. What's your name? Cindy. What's your number? I didn't answer him. I didn't even stop. I was proud of myself for not getting fooled into thinking I was genuinely getting asked out. When behind me I heard, "That's Cindy! We know her!" Disqualifying Henry from the bet. But I guess I ought to thank Henry because he triggered Nico to get jealous. Rain had started to pour torrentially onto our skin. So we took a bus to Nico's neighborhood. And as we got off, Henry and Nico each slipped a hand into my back pocket. Between crude jokes about who would take me from the front and who the back. Nah, dude, I totally got the front. I got dibs. You gotta take the back. And interrogations about who I was more likely to make out with. Cindy, it'd totally be me, right? My 9th grade heart was swooning at their affection. When we got in, it was dark, and it looked a lot like my friend Aaron's house from childhood. Nico went off to the bathroom, and Henry went downstairs to find a shirt to change into since his was wet. And I stood outside the bathroom door, pondering if one of the boys really would take me from the front or the back. Nico stepped out from the bathroom. He grabbed me, and we waddled slowly backwards like dads do with their daughters with their feet on theirs, except mine weren't on his. And suddenly, we paused, and something clicked. And my brain went into slow motion and said, Cindy, if you want to have your first kiss, all you have to do is tilt your head slightly to the right. And I did. His lips tasted like sour strawberry flavoring. And all of a sudden, a light bulb burst in my head. It was as if in that exact moment I grew up, because suddenly I just knew. He's going to kiss someone else later tonight. I ran downstairs, checked my hair in the mirror by the door, got made fun of because this wasn't Aaron's house and that mirror was actually a picture frame, shrugged it off as if I knew because I was in 9th grade, I barely knew what a penis was, let alone a mirror, and off we went to the Blair homecoming. When I got there, I quickly ran to my two best friends, Kelsey and Angela, and recounted to them the miracle that after 4 whole years, Nico had finally kissed me. But after years of playing jokes on them in middle school about the matter, neither of them believed me, so I resigned frustratedly to watch the game. Until suddenly, in the back row of bleachers, I see Katie Montgomery making out with Nico Kemp. Most of the night after that was a heartbroken blur. Memories of the gray, stormy cold, and my friends now believing me, forcing Nico to text me an apology. You're like a sister to me. I sobbed uncontrollably on the floor of my room at his incestuous mistreatment. Between my binge eating disorder worsening that year, kids in the hall calling me a whore for wearing shorts, my asshole of a dad dying, and a girl from my friend group telling me I'm a bitch who should die in front of the whole school, I ended up switching schools. I had nothing. I was nothing. I felt more desperate for a boyfriend than originally even destined. Joe Ager. This is not who you'd imagine for your first boyfriend. Because he was a pansexual stoner who motorboated me in front of my sister. So, look, the Rolling Stones said it best. You can't always get what you want. And when you're a fat, angry kid whose dad just died, shit ain't Disney. Before getting with Joe, he had made out with all of my friends. He even once dared himself to attempt to kiss my little sister. But when we got together, he'd insult my breath, refuse to make out with me, and talk about his ex-boyfriends. This was all fine and dandy. These were just a few hoops to get through. But what really bothered me is that his best friend, whom he didn't seem totally platonic with, was Katie Montgomery. They grew up on the same street together, and for some reason he didn't want to distance himself from her just a smidge for his girlfriend of a month and a half with bad breath. Now, I don't like to use this word often because it's sexist, misused, overused, and used to abuse, but Katie Montgomery is a massive fucking whore. Let me explain what that means. Now, Katie could sleep around all she wants. She could stretch her vagina the length of a JCPenney and I wouldn't care. But to me, a whore is someone who uses others. They aren't upfront with their intentions, they cheat on their partners, they're deceptive. They use people like objects. I was sick of Katie Montgomery using people as pawns. So one day, when Kelsey was over, we got fed up ranting about what a horrible girl she was. Okay, I know we can't afford our own and the stores are going to close soon, but we can't take all the eggs. My mom's going to figure it out. Okay, well, do you think this is enough? No, we need more than that. Come on. Here, let's take these 2 really big tomatoes. My mom always buys way too many tomatoes. They always end up rotting. And 6 eggs, and I'm sure we'll hit the house with something. Kelsey drove us to Katie's neighborhood. We got out of the car. walked down the street to her house, and started throwing. Badly. Hey! Kelsey and I hadn't hit a single thing with our vegetable medley, and as I saw her get further into the distance, I wondered if my chubby legs would get me to the car fast enough to make it out alive with her. Go, 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 go! Kelsey wasn't always the brightest girl. She constantly made up songs about poop, shot chocolate milk out of her nose, cackling in my face, and once forgot where Mexico is. But in this moment... But in this moment, she was a genius. No, we're going to go slow. We're going to go slow until we're out of her neighborhood so they don't know it was us. We may not have hit Katie's house with any of our eggs, but it was a night for the books. I was so excited, in fact, that I decided to call Joe up a couple of days later. Hey, Joe, if I tell you something, can you promise to never, ever, ever, even if it, like, involved your best friend or something, tell someone something ever? Yeah, sure, why not? Okay, so a couple of nights ago, Kelsey and I decided to egg Katie's house. Oh, that's awesome. But I kinda already knew. What? How? Well, somebody posted something on the listserv. Really? What did it say? Well, that it happened. And that her dad kinda thought it was towards him. Why would he? Dear Mr. Montgomery, I don't mind your company. I care not at all about who you're with. I hate your daughter, Katie, for being uncaring and messing with boys I know's dicks. I don't give a shit that you're gay. I think that you're okay. You don't really know me, but I am sorry for throwing those eggs. I still have shit luck with men. But at least now I don't accidentally commit hate crimes. Or write music.